I decided to sell all of my South African shares. This is something that I've been hearing all over when talking to fellow South African investors or reading about it in the news. In this video, I'm going to cover two topics. One, which is going to be why it's important to stay put in uncertain environments and understanding when fear, uncertainty, and doubt is the main reason why a lot of investors lose a lot of money. The second part of this video will be a simple review of my South African investment portfolio. The purpose of me showing you my South African portfolio is not for you to try to replicate, but simply a way for you guys to see what I own and what I'm planning to do with certain South African companies. With that said, something that we really do have to keep in mind is that fear will always be in the market. Unfortunately, we are facing very uncertain economic times in South Africa and obviously abroad. You've probably seen the rand skyrocketing and reaching levels that hasn't been reached ever before. This is definitely a scary scenario, and obviously it makes me quite nervous as well. We are human beings and we react emotionally on news that upsets us. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because sometimes the best thing you can do is to do absolutely nothing. The difficult part of investing is to stay put in uncertain times and to stay focused on your investment strategy, because a lot of people want to react on market news. This is simply one of the biggest issues new beginner investors face, and even seasoned professionals. Again, sometimes the best move is to not move at all. Just as an example, when a certain stock you invested in was doing good over the last couple of months and suddenly the market reacts on bad news, this is the exact situation that causes investors to panic and to sell that company as soon as the share price goes down. Just because a share price is going down doesn't mean that the company's fundamentals is going down as well. The main thing you need to take away from this video is to understand that there's risk involved in the markets, and in the short to medium term there will always be news out there that sounds negative and it's as if doomsday is around the corner. If you go onto News 24 or whichever platform you get your information from, every day there's a new article saying that everything is going to South Africa is a failed state, and we even see articles from Magnus Heistek which always sounds the alarm on how bearish he is about South African investments. The latest article he wrote is titled "How to Invest for the Possibility of a Failed State." Some of the advice that he gives in this article is really good advice, but then other options considered is stuff like sell residential and listed properties, except for properties in the Western Cape. He also says consider investing any surplus money in cash offshore. So he's definitely bearish on South African stocks and equities. He also says that you should buy gold, either in a tradable instrument or physical gold like the Kruger Rand. And he mentions stuff like opening a bank account offshore. Some of these are really good tips and some of them are not. Again, it's important to understand that not all investments is valued the same way, and even when South Africa is doing bad economically, it doesn't mean that it is going to last forever. People have been mentioning that South Africa is a failed state since the year 2000, and if we look back, it certainly hasn't been improving, but there's still a lot of money to be made in our equity markets. With that said, I'm going to share my actual investment portfolio and I'm going to show you guys which stocks I currently own, and the entirety of my portfolio will be visible to you guys. You have to understand that my South African portfolio is definitely underweight because of certain economic challenges, but it doesn't mean that I'm not investing in the South African market. So at the moment, the value of my portfolio is around 87,000 Rand, Just remember, these are mainly equities. I have a very small portion of ETFs, which is not really supposed to be bought in this account. So it is a mistake that I made when I first started. So obviously everyone makes mistakes, as long as you learn from them. So the value is currently 87,664 Rand and 66 cents. And I have a profit percentage of 33.13%, or a total value increase of 21,817 Rand and 49 cents. So again, this is not supposed to make you feel that you have to replicate my portfolio. A lot of these stocks are basically on their way out, meaning that I won't keep them for too long, and some of them I'll obviously continue to hold until I get the profits that I hope for. When I click on all holdings, I have a total of 9 stocks in this portfolio, where the first one is Invest South African Property, with a purchase value of 652 Rand, with a gain of 6% or 40 Rand. This is a stock that pays decent dividends, and the growth is not the best out there. The second stock I have is Famous Brands, with a purchase value of 1,254 Rand, with a decent gain of 73% or 924 Rand in Rand value. Next, I have Grindrod Limited, which was unbundled from Remgrow Limited. So this was something that was added to my portfolio without me actually buying that specific stock. It's currently up 51% or a value increase of 93 Rand. Next, I have Metair of a very small amount of 87 Rand, which is up 4.27% or a 3 Rand 72 cent increase. You'll see that these shares are really quite random, and it's not going to help me a lot having a purchase value of 87 Rand. This is shares that I've bought when I just started out, and I'm kind of just leaving them there until I feel that I need to sell them. Next, I have MTN, which is the largest position in this portfolio, with a purchase value of 30,000 Rand and an increase of 54% or a value of 16,000 Rand. This is obviously a share that I'm quite comfortable holding over the long term, and when we click on the 1 month chart, we can see that it has been taking a beating quite a bit. Even if we go back 6 months, we can see that the share has really been decreasing. So overall, this is exactly what I was talking about in the beginning part of the video. If I reacted on the market and I sold my company shares when it reaches the bottom, this is exactly how you lose money. So the best thing is to just stay put and stay invested in companies that you are comfortable with holding over the long term. Next, I have Naspers, which is around 5,000 Rand, and the shares are up 12.93% or increase of 691 Rand. Then we have the famous Purple Group. The purchase value is around 15,796 Rand, and it's currently down 49.12% or a loss or unrealized loss of 7,758 Rand. Unfortunately, we can't get everything right all the time. I made the mistake of buying the company at a overvalued valuation, and I am definitely not reaping any rewards at the moment. I have another Purple Group position in a different portfolio which looks much better, which is down around 5% at the moment. So the idea would be here, again, just to stay put, I will either add onto this shares and reduce my average purchase price, or I will just keep it until it eventually goes up. A lot of people would say that you should cut your losses and just sell the shares and take your loss as it is, but I would suggest rather just waiting it out. I don't need this money, so I'll keep it there until it performs much better. Next, I have Remgrow, which is around 8,866 Rand, an increase of 40% and Rand value around 3,500 Rand. This share is also one that I am thinking of keeping for quite a while because it has been doing quite decently over the last couple of years. Then I have Sun International. You've probably seen me talking about this share, and its purchase value is 2,836 Rand with an increase of 260% or 7,390. This is obviously the best performing stock in percentage form, and it has been doing quite badly the last couple of the last month. Again, if we look at the chart, we can see that it has been going down quite significantly, and this again just confirms why it's important not to just sell when a stock goes down. If we scroll back to 6 months, we can see that it reached a high around 43 Rand 40 cent, and it's currently trading at 37 Rand 99. So I'll obviously keep this stock until I feel that the valuation is too overvalued. And another positive is that the company actually pays a decent dividend. So with that said, that is a quick review of my overall portfolio in my South African Rand account with a value of 87,000 Rand. Obviously, it's not the largest portfolio. It's definitely not the best performing portfolio, but I have some winners, and then obviously I have one big loser. The idea of me showing you my portfolio is to simply show that even though certain stocks do bad, it's just important to hold on to them if you feel that they will eventually do better. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment down below if you have some video suggestions, something that you might want to see in the future. Let me know, and I'm looking forward to keep educating everyone as much as I can. And while I'm doing this, I'm obviously learning as well. With that said, I'll see you in the next one.